Hi, and welcome to the PLP Advantage Virtual Clinic. My name is Brian Kane. I'm the Corporate Parts Manager with PrairieLand Partners. In this segment, we're going to discuss some 8 and 9 series forage parts as well as some Kemper head parts. So let's get started up front on the head. Talk a little bit about Deere's rotary knife, the quality story behind these knives. Deere builds these knives out of a little thinner material than many knives out there, but it's a hardened material. So you're going to get just as much or more life out of that base material. And also they only hard face the front edge of the tooth where it wears, so they don't add the extra material and weight on the complete tooth. Like you see many of them hard faced all the way back. That's unnecessary weight in an area that is not wearing. So after testing a couple of these knife options for about 1,100 acres, the Deere Kemper knife on the left side of our screen and the competition on the right side, you'll notice on the Deere knife that it's self-sharpening underneath and behind of that hard-faced area up front. So that knife is staying sharp and cutting through the crop, which is providing minimal load on the transmissions compared to the knife on the right, which is a little thicker material and it gets that blunt edge on the front edge. Also, as we look at a cutaway of the hard face coating material, you'll see on the left side of the Deere knife that it has a higher density of carbides, which results in a longer wear life as well. Moving on to the scrapers, a very high impact area that touches the crop and receives a lot of wear. Deere has the same hardened material for these scrapers, and since they're small and don't accumulate a lot of weight, Deere has a little thicker material here than the competition and about 1 millimeter wider on the hard face coating, as you'll see on the right side of the screen, which results in these scrapers lasting longer. All of these scrapers and knives and hardware are available by the piece, but something you might keep in mind, we can also sell them in boxes of 2 drums per box. Very handy way to stock them in your service truck or trailer so you don't have loose items rolling around in there, but it might be handy to have some of these boxes on hand that'll service 2 of your drums. Moving on to the forage harvester parts, Duraline wear parts have been around for about 10 years now. They started back in the 7000 series. They've become quite common as customers have figured out that they last a lot longer and you can stay in the field running versus changing out these liners. They're created by a tungsten carbide and chrome carbide composition that is baked onto these liners. It's a very smooth surface. You're not going to get any rough edges that are going to catch the crop, so the crop flow is not hindered by this hard facing. It'll last up to 4 times longer than a regular metal liner, and so it's going to save you a lot of time and expense. It's going to keep you in the field running instead of changing these out. On the 8s and the 9 series cutters, there's a lot of different liners available with Duraline. It starts up front in your cutter head area with your spiral band, also your shear bars available with Duraline on as well, all the way up through the crop flow area as you head out the back in the blower and the transition tube area. The bottom liner of the spout is available as well as the spout cap. So many different liners that you would replace often you can get with the Duraline. It might become an option for your operation. As you rebuild your kernel processors, we have a full line of parts and options available for these as well. We have the Deere rolls, the shearer rolls. Many of your 8s and 9s have shearer KPs in them, and we also have some horning roll options available as well. Regular tooth, sawtooth, FiberTech tooth options. So get with your parts department, with your service department, figure out which one of these is best for your operation. We also have a full line of Deere bearings, belts, and wear items for these KPs. Talk a little bit about a couple new products that are coming out very soon, and we're going to have these on hand as soon as they're available. The coolant hose has been a challenge. As you can see on the screen, there's some of them have burst, and also there's a new cap as well, coolant cap. which is a 15 psi. And so these new coolant hoses, whether they're a straight one or whether they're S-shaped, they're made out of silicone. We're going to get these on hand as soon as we can. So if you're having troubles with your coolant hoses, this is going to be the way to fix that. Another change is the feed roll dampening cylinder. At the lower right of my screen, you might notice that the cylinder width where it mounts, the old width was 16 millimeters, and the new cylinder is going to be 25 millimeters, a little bit larger mounting surface to reduce the wear. It's subbing over to this new cylinder, so as you buy new ones, you'll get this wider one. You also are going to need to purchase some additional parts to mount this. It's a little different system, some different hardware and brackets. So keep that in mind. But if you have a lot of wear on this dampening cylinder, this is going to be the fix for that. Talk a little bit about our PrairieLand portal. Many of you are familiar with it. You use it to order parts, to look up invoices. It's kind of like online banking for the John Deere customer. You can go to our PrairieLand website, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a customer login button. If you don't have an account, I'd highly recommend you get one. It's free to use, has a lot of different features that you may find useful. When you have a portal, you can look up parts on the same catalogs that we use at the parts counter. You can order parts. You can build out saved carts, which is handy for forage customers if you have repetitive repairs, like all the filters or belts for your machine, maybe all the knives for your head. You can build out those saved carts and name them by your machine name, and then later you can pull those out and order those groups of parts just within a matter of seconds. You can also see our parts inventory at any of our locations and the current prices for these parts. You can request service. All of your machines are listed in there that you would have purchased or serviced at PrairieLand. You can click on a machine and choose a store, and when you send that request in, the service manager will call you soon after to schedule that repair. Your parts and service invoices are available to view, to download, to print. So you can search back by date range and find any of your invoices here at PrairieLand. And then on your equipment listing, if you have purchased machines other places and you want to add them to your profile, you can do that easily, as well as deleting some machines from your profile. You can also pull up service history that we may have done on any of your machines, and you can look up parts directly from that serial number, which is a quick way to take you to the parts book and to make sure that you have the right serial number options as you look up those parts. If you want to learn more about the portal, we have several videos on our virtual learning tab of our website. So there's some different ways there to use the portal, some different features you may not be aware of. So go on in there and check out those videos to learn more. We're committed here at PrairieLand to taking care of your parts and service needs. We have a little over $1 million of forage parts on hand across our organization. We stock forage parts at several stores. So wherever you're at, we can take care of those needs. Also, if it's after hours, weekends, evenings, and you need parts, give us a call. You'll be routed through our phone system to your local parts employee that's on call. They can look up parts for you, whether it's at our store, whether we need to look them up at Deere's warehouse. We have that ability, so don't hesitate to give us a call anytime, day or evening, and we'll get you taken care of. Throughout the work week, we ship daily out of our stores through UPS and a variety of other carriers. We also ship direct from Deere to your operation, wherever you're at home or on the road. And if you're within driving distance of a Deere warehouse, we can set up a will call pickup at the warehouse. Very simple. You can run in there and pick up your parts if we don't have them on hand here at the dealership. So we certainly appreciate the opportunity to provide parts for your operations.